feel like assigned seats? Or
No, I'll go in the middle.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, we have Teisha Hyman, head coach Tammi Reiss, and Mayé Touré. Coach, when you're settled, just an opening statement on the win.
Tonight's game is dedicated to Vinny Cannizzaro. He was one of the best high school coaches to ever coach women's high school basketball at Christ the King. Coached greats like Sue Bird, Shamika Holdsclaw, and Vinny's in the hospital battling cancer. So tonight we were playing for Coach Cannizzaro, and we're playing also for my father, who is just got out of the hospital, and he's battling an illness. So really proud of the team, the way they showed up with unbridled energy. We talked about being lions today and going hunting, and that's what they did. And I thought the way we watched games last night, the women's basketball season kicked off, and there were a couple teams that, number one teams in the country, that didn't show up ready to play, and we talked about that today. That's not going to be us. If Sacred Heart was going to beat us, they were going to have to go through a brick wall to do it. And from jump to finish, everyone who stepped on the floor had that mentality, and we were ready to play, and we executed our game plan to a T. Everything we talked about, girls did an excellent job.
Okay, open it up for questions.
Tammi, just how much of a difference does a healthy Teisha Hyman make for your team? She looked really healthy tonight.
I said this a couple days ago. Someone asked me, how's T doing? And I said, she's the Teisha Hyman from Dayton. When we had to go through them to get the championship, and everyone that went to the rim, the ball was swatted, or she altered shots, but offensively, I thought was a different story. She was extremely aggressive today offensively and powerful. And so now the combination of Tenon and Mayé, it's very formidable. Defensively, on the boards, and it allows Mayé now to face up. Now we have a true 5. Now Mayé can work on her face-up game and a little bit of a 3-4 situation. So T is knock on wood. We keep her healthy, and she feels great. When you see that big smile on her face, you know she's feeling good, and that's the Teisha Hyman that we love to see.
Tammi, with Tenon in the middle, with some of the athleticism you have on the perimeter, how good can you be defensively this year?
We held them. Our goal is 57 points a game. We led the A10 last year in number 1 defense, and that's our goal this year. Same thing, it was 57. We held Sacred Heart to 40. They're picked to win their league. Their point guard is very good. She gave it to Stanford last year in the tournament. But again, we hang our hat on defense and rebounding. But the pieces we've added on the perimeter, you see Teisha Hyman, you see Dee Davis, Inez has matured, Sophie V. Defensively now, you see we pick up full court pressure for most of the game. We couldn't do that last year. We weren't athletic enough. And so when we went into the transfer portal, we wanted to play the style we wanted. I like to press. I like to play fast. It's fun. We targeted Teisha and Dee. We knew what we had coming in with the freshmen, but those two make the difference athletically on the perimeter. It's a different ball game. And in order to compete with some of the teams we want to compete with, we had to get more athletic.
Teisha, how about just your first game here? Being part of this team, playing at the Ryan Center, what'd you think?
It was a great experience. It just feels really good. Just being in this culture. I don't know, I had a good time with my new coach, my new teammates, and just looking for some more wins.
She had the crowd oohing and on when she hit that double cross behind the back move. But she's finding her place on the team. A lot of times I think she's extremely unselfish. She had 6 assists tonight? 5 to 1 turnover ratio. And Teisha can score. But again, this team, when you look at us, we have a lot of scores. Dee led her team in scoring. Teisha led her team at one point in the ACC. Mayé leads our team 10. You have to get kids to buy into a role. That the we before the me. It's the best thing about our culture is we have great kids that don't look for always me. They look for the we, and then they celebrate each other. And it's what makes last year's team very special to coach. And this year's team, they picked up right where they left off. They are an incredibly unselfish group.
How did it feel to finally see that banner raised in the Ryan Center after all you did last year, to see it, here in the first game at home?
It was a special moment. It's funny because in our pregame speech, I took our ring, I had my ring, and I showed it to him, and I said, this is history, this is over. And I threw it, and Emma caught it, and I said, we're done. That's last year. That's last year's team. We're gonna go out, and we're gonna act like we're the underdogs. We're Rocky, we're Rhody, and we're gonna go out, and we're gonna smack them, like we have something to prove. And so, it's funny, then we go out, and the banner gets hung, and I'm like, don't worry about the banner, but it definitely is nice to hang a banner in the Ryan Center and celebrate that team because they did something special. And to have them recognized, and that will never leave the rafters, ever. In the history, it will always be there. That's special. You don't get many opportunities to do that. So yes, it was a special moment, even though it killed my pregame speech.
Coach, you had a couple freshman first-time scorers here, notably Eva Deschamps, a 2,000-plus point scorer in high school. How do you feel about her going forward in the season?
Eva can really score. She's very skilled. She loves to shoot it. It was just finding, she never had to play defense. Her and Teisha played down in Westchester. I think they both scored like 45 or 50 a game. They never really had great competition. So Eva coming here was a shock initially. The pace, the physicality. Once she got her bearings, she'll be just fine. But is really like, my God, this is a lot. I've never had to do this before. And the demands, you make us go at all the time at 110. So once she learned that, she this week she had a great week of practice. That's why she earned minutes tonight, good minutes. They weren't given minutes. She earned those minutes to be on the floor. And if she keeps playing like this, gradually she'll earn more and more minutes. Very happy with our freshmen today. Very happy. I thought Sophie V at the point guard finally pushed the pace we needed her to push. She distributed, she kicked ahead. I thought Eva had a great minutes for us. Very aggressive scoring and played pretty good D. And then Sophie Sen and Katie, when they got in, they did exactly what we asked. Everyone who stepped on the floor today did their job, and to the best of their ability. Energy, completely happy with that. That's what I'm most proud of. Energy and compete.
Coach, I know you're not a huge fan of preseason polls because you haven't even played a game yet. Now you have that first game out of the way. Do you see this performance as an indicator that you are a top, if not the top team in the conference?
I tell our kids all the time, I don't care. Someone asked me the other day, it was one of our fans, and he said, aren't you scared? You said you want to win an A10 championship, you want to win the tournament, you want to go to the NCAAs. Aren't you scared that what if it doesn't happen? And I said, no. I said, listen, you got to speak it to an existence. Everyone knows we're a pretty good team. What are our goals? You want us to just keep them quiet and no, we put them out there because they have to realize how hard you have to work every day. We put those goals out there. Everyone knows it. We got an X on our back. They're coming. But we don't care about preseason rankings, any of that. Every day, even though we know our goals, our job every day is to trust the process and get better. Get better. Every game, every day. And rankings don't matter. All it does is put an X on our back that we got to be even better than we were. You ain't sneaking up on anybody. You're not anymore. Everyone knows we're pretty good. We're pretty talented. But, I don't care about that. I don't even think about that. I know there are 4 or 5 teams in the A10. Return everybody. Return everybody. They're good. I think the women's side is very strong this year. The top 5 or 6 teams. Very competitive. And which is a great thing. But I don't see us. I see us as one of the top teams in the A10. I don't think we're number 1. I haven't seen any of those teams really play yet. So I know we're good, and I know we have a lot of work to do to get to where we want to be. But again, we don't look at that. We do not look at preseason rankings. We don't look at player of the year and all that. You go out and earn it. And how do you do that? You earn it every day. You earn it every day. And that's what we trust in. That's our process here.
Mayé, with what Coach was saying about leaving last year in the past, what have you guys as players talked about in terms of embracing the next challenge?
I think we all on the same page, and he's part of the recruiting. She recruited Doug's, and we're not gonna be complacent, and it's like nothing happened. We start over and we gotta win this year.
Mayé, just as Coach was talking about Tenen, you know, and the things that you can do together on the floor. How happy are you to see that, you know, she's healthy, she's playing at a high level, and you know, how happy is, you know, for you to be able to, you know, work with her on the court?
Yeah, it's very nice. Like, even in practice, we make each other better, and on the court, we already have that chemistry because we played together when we were younger. So yeah, I'm very happy to have her, and I think the whole team too.
Mayé, 8 for 11 today, 20 points. You led the team, 6 rebounds, an assist as well. How do you feel about your performance today?
I don't know. I just try to do my job, and my teammates also make a big part of everything that I'm doing. So yeah, I think it's a team group effort.
I feel good about her performance tonight.
She was very upset with herself that she had 2 fouls and had to sit so long in the first half. She was trying to beg me to put her back in, and I said no, I'll play you in the second half. But that was the quietest 20 I've ever seen. It was very quiet, very efficient, but very quiet.
Any other questions?
Coach Reiss, what did you think about your team's performance in the paint? You guys had 58 points in the paint tonight. You seemed very efficient, both offensively and defensively. Now with 10 and back, how do you see that? You know, last year you guys were really good at the perimeter defensively. Now being better in the paint, what do you think that does for this team?
Well, our goal was to dominate the paint today. Their goal, because they're a dribble drive team, they get in the paint, and our goal defensively, stop them from getting in the paint. Offensively, hunt the paint, and then find the greatest shot we could, whether it be punching it inside, whether it be finishing at the rim or kicking for a 3. And again, one of the biggest stats I could jump for joy right now. We had 6 turnovers in the first half. We had 0 in the second half. I don't think that's ever happened. They were in shock when Shane Donaldson told us that stat, but 22 assists is sharing the ball, and 6 turnovers, that's a great assist to turnover ratio. That makes me extremely happy. And again, we hunt the paint, whether it was off the pass or off the drive. And our press really enables us to do that. Paint points, that's transition. You know, you're getting layups off the press. It's really a nice thing. But again, I think that's the glaring stat. We share the ball, and then we took care of the ball.
All right, thank you very much, everyone. Have a great night, and see you
Thanks,
all.
guys. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.